Meanwhile, President Trump is facing pushback from Denmark after naming a special envoy to Greenland. The president appointed Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry to the role. Trump has said in the past that he would like to annex the resource-rich island for national security reasons. But now Denmark says it would summon the U.S. ambassador over the new appointment. The country's foreign minister says in part, quote, "I am deeply angered by the appointment and the statement, which I find totally unacceptable." At least 15 newly released Epstein files have been removed from the website of the Justice Department. CBS News downloaded the complete list of documents when they were released Friday and compared those to what was available Saturday. Let's bring in CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarlane. Scott, thank you for joining us today. What do we know about the files that disappeared?
Well, some have reappeared, some have, others remain now behind some type of veil, along with the overwhelming number of files, the total files. We have just a fraction right now of what is believed to exist, and the fact that only a fraction have been released, that some have been taken back down, that so many have been redacted prodigiously, has raised questions about process here. The federal law under which these files were released called for a full file release by a date certain, December 19th, which was Friday. Only some have been so far, and it's not been the fulsome release that supporters were hoping for. So over the past 72 hours, it's been a defensive posture from the Trump administration, explaining itself, justifying this partial release, saying it's holding things back to prevent impacting witnesses or victims or information that needs to stay confidential. But this has been unsatisfying for the congressional leaders who pushed the bill and so many of the survivors. We spoke with Annie Farmer, one of the most outspoken Epstein survivors, about her thoughts on this partial release.
I think we have all prepared ourselves for what redactions might look like, and that they could be used to continue to protect predators and protect other people in power.
So the timing for the release of other records, potentially hundreds of thousands of further files, is unclear. But this is crystal clear right here. If there was a hope of turning the page on the Epstein controversy by releasing some of the files, no page has been turned and no fire has been extinguished.
Wow. And Scott, the DOJ is also facing increased criticism about its handling of the Epstein files, especially from some members of Congress. What are you hearing so far from them?
Yeah, and it's a bipartisan dynamic, just like it was a bipartisan bill that forced the Epstein files to be released. You're hearing from Republicans and Democrats who say they wanted more out there. Thomas Massie of Kentucky said as much on Face the Nation. Republican member from Kentucky. Ro Khanna of California said it on Face the Nation. Democrat from California. They want more. They'll consider some type of contempt finding against the U.S. Attorney General. And the word impeachment's been thrown around, articles of impeachment against some federal officials. That really is just political rhetoric, but it's telling that that's the political rhetoric. 3 days after the first release of Epstein files, this remains a brush fire that the administration has not and maybe cannot contain.
Yeah, it certainly seems like none of this is over yet. Scott McFarlane, thank you so much for your time.